How do I get there? I can't seem to get this thing on. Where are we?
Is it just the video you can't find there, Andy, or?
Oh, I found the video. It's just to get up onto the share.
It should be at the bottom, share screen.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't got it up.
Chat. Yeah.
The screen one keeps showing all the people on it. That doesn't work.
You just got a minute. Yeah. There you go.
Okay, a second. Where's it gone? No.
Yeah, everybody can share. I've got it open for everybody to share. Has Scott discovered?
Just trying to remember how to do it. We use a different platform at work now.
Oh, okay.
Andy, you should be able to share when you pick screen one. Then what you do is maximize what you want to share with us, and we should all see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Full screen. Can you see that?
No, you haven't hit share screen yet, though, eh?
Oh, where is that? Yeah, it's underneath.
Hey guys, Doug here again.
Pause.
Hey guys, Doug here again.
And do you see the green thing at the bottom of your screen that just share screen with an up arrow?
Yeah, I got that, but I don't. I can't get the screen one to come. Oh, I got it on the screen too. Okay, wait a minute. Okay.
Oh, it's you have
Gotta be on the
two
same
monitors.
screen.
Screen just screwing it up. It's okay.
Hey guys, Doug here again. Moving along with our little introduction to wood carving series. Today,
Did you get
Oh,
that?
there it is.
how to keep your knife sharp. Sharpening your knife can become a very intimidating thing once you start looking around and seeing all the different systems there is, and just so many ways to sharpen your knife. So today, that's what we're looking at. The best part of today is for you is that all this stuff here, we don't need. All we need is a basic strop. In its simplest form, a strop is just a piece of leather glued to a piece of wood. It can be ugly and fat, tall and pretty, short and skinny, or even just a piece of leather on a flat surface. But the idea is a piece of leather that you can put in a compound, whether that be red, green, yellow, white, whatever. But think of the compound as the grit in your sandpaper that you're gonna just impregnate the leather with, and then by using a controlled motion, put the factory edge back on your knife, removing all the little scratches and burrs and nicks. So I thought what we should do before we get going, whether you buy one or not, let's just make one really quick, and then we'll go over how to use it properly, and then we'll move into some other areas with different contours of knives. I got 2 pieces of spalted maple left over from Sean's coat rack that I made them, and these are 10 inches long. So I think the leather is only going to be 8 inches. I'm going to make it kind of without a hole in the end like that. So let's just go and mark here at an inch and 3/4 wide. So it's a 7/8 of an inch. All right. I'm just going to drill a little finger hole in there before we glue the leather on. The leather I'm using is vegetable tan leather, and it comes in about 5, I think this is 5 ounce. I have some heavier 8 to 10 ounce, but this is good enough. It's about an 1/8 inch thick. And it doesn't matter if you use an old belt or any other kind of leather, but I like the vegetable tan leather. Now, if this is my strop here, I'm going to put it on like so. So I wanted to, I cut it about an 1/8 inch long. I'd rather trim it off after than to try and make it perfect. So all I'm going to do here is take some contact cement. And again, glue is not what's important here today. It's you could probably get away with wood glue, but I'm just going to glue this whole side here. And with contact cement, of course, you have to wait till it gets tacky. But like I said, I'm going to use the rough side up, not the smooth side. In the past, as you can see, I've always made my straps with a rough side up and a smooth side. But to be honest, I rarely use the smooth side, and I find that the rough side is enough. All right. So just going to glue this all up here, and then when it comes to tacking it down, we'll come back. Once our glue is tacky, I'm just going to line up our line here. Place around the wood. Okay. Good stuff. Take our knife, trim off the excess. Got a strap. All right. Like so. Now, we don't have to be complete animals. We can put some oil on that and make it pretty. Don't let it go. Had to put some oil on them, make them pretty. Now I got some oil on the edge of the leather, and that is absolutely no problem whatsoever, because some people like to condition the leather with some mineral oil before they apply their compound, but we're going to skip that step. Compounds. Compounds come in all different shapes and sizes, and the color of the compound dictates the grit, okay? I've never got too caught up with it. Flex cut makes a yellow. There's red, green. You can buy a paste that you can paint on. This one's green. And quite honestly, I don't think it really matters that much. I've been using green because that's what was available. And this little piece here, I've probably been using it for about 4 or 5 years. So let's just load these up. And I find if I take a hairdryer and warm it up, I can get the compound in more uniform and quicker. And I should be able to just rub it right in there, nice and solid. Right. The first coat, you want to get it on there real good and solid. That's oodles. You know when your knife needs sharpening, when it's not cutting like it did in the beginning. And a good test would be just take a piece of an end grain of wood and just take a slice off the end grain, and that cut should be shiny, smooth, clean as a whistle. All right, and this knife is sharp. Okay, but that's just it almost feels polished. It's so shiny. Okay, so you're gonna start getting little scratches and those cuts and little pulls and little tears. And that's when you know it's time to strop. If I'm carving a little man, I would always strop before I even start carving, and then sometimes midway, you just gauge it by the way it's cutting. But if you're cutting for even a half hour and it starts not cutting like it did, time for a strop. So I will add that there is no tool in that tool rack that has ever seen a sharpening stone of any kind, just stropping and honing on the leather. All right. So if you're in doubt, you've seen me cut lots of wood in the last couple of years, and none of my carving knives have ever seen a sharpening stone. So let's just go over some knives here. The Helvey knife is what they call a flat grind knife with a bit of a bevel. So it's a perfectly flat grind, but the bottom is a bit of a convex blade, okay? You know a Mora knife. Mora knife is how can I show you? Has a total secondary Scandinavian grind on it. So it has two planes, the cutting plane and then this the strength, okay? So that's a Scandi grind. You see that? There you go. And it's got like an OCC tool, a Mike Shipley knife, and that is a complete flat grind. And then the flex cut's kind of like a Scandi. It has a secondary bevel on it, okay? So all we're going to do is we're going to take our strap, and let's get you in here closer. I'm going to take my knife, I'm going to lay it down here flat, and then I'm going to lift it till I find that angle, and then one way, I'm going to lift it straight up, turn around, and come back the other way, straight up. The key is do not roll your knife. You end it and lift it. But what I do is I go one way, say in the beginning, 10 times, go back this way, another 10 times. Then I go this way 9 times. And then I go back this way 8 times, and work all the way down. And then when I get to down to 1 or 2, is I'll just go 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe another 10 times. But as you can see, people think of stropping as a finishing polish, but that black on that blade is steel. This is a method of sharpening. And that's cutting the steel, realigning all the little burrs and this little micro edges and stuff that happens to your knife. So all the imperfections. Okay. Then we go over to our little block of wood here. And again, you can see that shine on there. That's just a polished, clean, beautiful cut on end grain. Same with the Helvey. I know this Helvey is sharp, but with that micro bevel, so I'm going to lay it flat. I'm just going to lift it just a hair, just so that the edge touches. All right. This is almost a relaxing thing, just as much as the carving is a good stropping. It also makes a nice polish on your knife too. Like I said, I already know this knife is sharp, but let's just give it a try anyway. Look at that. I'm going to take a little Mora knife here. Same thing, I'm going to lay it flat, lift it till the angle is flat on the leather, and then just go through the steps again, up to 10, back the other way. And look how that leather is turning black. So let's say you let your knife go into total disrepair. You should have stropped it a month ago, and you keep using it. All that means is that you're gonna have to spend more time doing this and going through steps. Maybe instead of going 10, you gotta do it 50. But once you get it where you like it, then stay on it, strop it, even before you start all your projects, midway if need be. But this is the easiest way to maintain your knife. But we also have our little V tool here. Now this V tool has 2 edges, and it's the same idea. We're going to find our angle, and we're just going to strop it. We're going to do the other side. If we've got depending on our V tool, if our bottom is a little bit soft, a little bit round, then we can pull and we can roll it at the same time too. All right. And basically the same idea. We'll go through all our steps. Maybe not as many as a knife, but we have that problem now of the inner burr. So we push the steel over, but we can't get the backside. Now, flex cut makes a little strop like this, where you can strop your gouges and whatnot and V tools. And they also give you the little raised parts that you can actually put your compound on here, and you can pull and get that inside burr off by pulling it over. Now, we don't really need that. Let's find a good side here. If we take a block of wood and make a nice cut in there with the V tool and go right beside it again, do it again. We've just created, I'm going to get a little bit deeper. Once we find that angle there, put a little bit of the compound on there. Good time for that little brush. Okay. We got a little V cut there, and we can get the inside burr off just like that. Like I said, if you got gouges and whatnot, it might be worthwhile to pick up that flex cut. Same thing with the remember those dockyard tools I showed you? They make their own miniature little stropping block too, all right? And that's for doing both sides. You can run the tools on the strap, get that edge, but if you only have a V tool, you might as well just make something like that, and you can get that inside burr off, and that is important. Okay? And let's just see how that cuts. See, even just that little bit compared to the 2 cuts on this side that ripped. See that? Okay, improvement already just in that little bit. So it doesn't take much. The key is just to stay on it. So as far as maintaining our basic little kit here, I hope this helps. It's easy, and it's very worthwhile to stay on top of your tools. A dull knife is a dangerous knife, and it's so simple. So strop for your knife, V tool, strop, maybe make a little V cut in a block of wood to get that inside burr out. But yeah, with that stuff, you're good for years. Now, like I said, we're keeping this basic. There is a place for this other stuff, but that's another time, another place. But for our basic series and maintaining our knives, I think we got it. So next, what is it? Next.
Okay. That should be enough for that. It was just meant to be a short reminder to everybody about sharpening, and just keep us with a little bit of a sharp edge. As we all buy tech stuff from Rick and clean them up. Okay, next up we'll have Wood Wizard with Pam. So can you give the share screen and stuff to Pam?
I'll give it a go and we'll see what happens. Okay, so thanks to everybody who sent in pictures for the Wood Wizard. I really appreciate it. Once again, Kathy Potvin was your judge, and I just sent her the pictures and she chose them from that, and then I put the presentation together. So this we received from Bob Thompson. He made a lovely little cedar box that looks like it's, oh, I'm losing the, to put potpourri in. Is that correct, Bob? It's got an open filigree carving, and it's made out of cedar, and the other little carvings have all been done out of black walnut. This was received from John Peters, and it's Celtic entwined hearts. It's a pendant, and he's photographed it in front of a mirror, which was quite clever because then you can see the back side of the pendant as well as the front. This was from Wayne Goslin. He'd made a nice little brooch, and then he says he always has to make another one for his daughter, so he got the joy of doing 2 of them. Eric Haber had submitted 2 views of this little statues called I Hold the Key to Your Heart. He said it was modified Bobby Ray from Mike Shipley's Whitling Country Folk Book, complete with the little key. Well done. Don Willis had submitted the front side, back side carving here. He hadn't had a chance to paint it, but he thought we might enjoy seeing it, and it is rather cute. Harold Peel had submitted a nice spoon for a 20th anniversary given to a young couple last summer. It was their 20th anniversary, so I said a young couple, obviously younger than him. So it's 2 smaller hearts that lead up to the family heart of 3. It's carved in basswood and finished with teak oil. And John Bowser had a lovely 7-inch black walnut angel with the heart in the middle. And finally, Eileen McFadden had done a pyrography with a young couple underneath the lampposts. And so Kathy judged them. First prize this month goes to John Bowser for his walnut angel. Second prize goes to Bob Thompson. Third prize to Don Willis, and honorable mention to Eileen. And that's that.
Okay, next up is Sue with show and tell. We lost Sue. Where'd she go?
How's that?
Yeah,
Can you
no
hear me?
fix.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. Just a sec.
Incognito. There you go.
I'm
There
back.
you are, with all the birds.
Yes, with all the birds. Okay, we got a bit of a good sized group here tonight. So I've just put them in the order. There's no particular order, just other than when they were submitted to me. First person we've got up is Dennis Rule. He's got a couple of things to show us this evening. So I'll turn it over to Dennis. Did we lose him?
Microphone, Dennis. Your mic, Dennis.
How's that?
Yeah.
There we go. Good.
All right. I didn't realize it was that type of show and tell. All right.
It is.
I'm up first. So, all right. Well, a couple of little things I've been working on. This little guy here is the engineer to the boat crew. And I don't have any photos here. So we've got the first mate, or sorry, the deckhand, the first mate, and the captain is the little group that I've been working on. And they're all going to be sailing on this little boat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
neat.
that's one little project. And Sue, I'll if you don't mind, I'll let you go to the next person. I'm going to grab my other prop, and then I'd like to talk about it.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Actually, while you're doing that, Dennis, maybe I'll just talk about something else. I'll slip it in here for a minute. Really, this is hopefully of interest to a few people out there. I just wanted to highlight a carving competition that popped up on the Helvey Knives website on Facebook for anybody that may not have seen it but might find it something they want to do. They're offering a competition open to 2 classes of carvers, beginners that have just 1 year experience or less, or anybody that has more than 1 year experience. The theme is basically fantasy, so it's anything like trolls, wizards, elves, that kind of thing. It has to be a new carving, no rough outs, no teacher assisted classes, nothing like that. Starting with maximum a 2x2 6-inch block. And the deadline to enter your piece is April 30th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Helvey will be supplying the prizes, so I'm reasonably certain it'll probably be carving tools. And the judging is going to be done by Don Mertz. So anybody that enjoys caricature carving will know who Mr. Mertz is. So it should be kind of a fun competition. If you've got some spare time and you want to try it out, check it out on their website. I think they're probably going to get a pretty good response to it. So did I give you enough time, Dennis?
Oh, lots of time.
Okay.
My microphone on, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that I like to do is to be able to carve outside of my workshop. Up at the cottage, I don't have a carving room, so I made myself this little desktop carving, what would you call it, tote. And it's got room for tools up at the top, and it's got rubber feet down on the bottom. And it's got 2 carrying handles so that I can carry it away. So this is my first attempt at it. I went with a 6-inch fence all around, catch the chips. So that's my show and tell for today. Thanks.
Great. Well, that's a nice piece, that tote, especially now where people are kind of needing to move to fresh spaces around the house, getting a little bored sitting in one place all the time. So, okay, thanks very much, Dennis.
My pleasure.
Next, we've got Baz, if he's on the line here with us.
Yep, I'm here.
So hi, Baz. Okay,
Hi.
I think you've got a couple of things you want to talk about tonight.
Yeah. Hi, folks. It's been a while, so I'm happy to be back for a Zoom meeting. What I want to talk about is in November, I was working at home, and I was actually working in this room. Now, I'm just going to show you the room. I'm going to flip it over. So I don't know. Oh, did my video go? Okay, here we are. So this is a 3-season room that we converted starting in August into a 4-season. Because of COVID, we could not go down south. So, and we have connection with with those doors to the house. So we insulated the thing, and I made it all out of pine. So I did all the constructions here on the floor, my wife and I. So anyway, so we did this. So one day I was sitting on the floor in November, and I was working on the floor. And what happened is I got a phone call from somebody out of the blue, and it was somebody at the design team at Lee Valley Tools. And they asked me if I could produce a carving, actually do a box and carve it to actually contain carving tools. And we ran a photo session, and we ran it very securely at Lee Valley. It was distant, people with distance, mask and everything. It was really secure. And they did a photo shoot of my box, and I actually made the cover of the winter brochure of Lee Valley. So if you receive it by mail or you go on the site, you'll see it. So here is the actual brochure. I'm going to show you. So you see a carving of, and it's actually my hands that you see carving the brochure. And in the background is the actual box. Here's the actual cover of the box here. And it's a sliding top. And of course, I sign my name in the box on the lid. And here's the box with some of my carving tools, some nice LV knife, of course, and a palm one. Palm, they don't make them anymore. The green one is a nice one. And I've actually, it's a box that I built and carved it all around. So that was a lot of fun to do. And I just want to show you my next project. It's work in progress. This is actually a raised panel. And I'm just going to flip this. So it's a raised panel that's going to be used for the top of a Dutch tool chest. So I'm going to build a Christopher Schwartz in the US has a website called Lost Art Press. And they talk a lot about anarchist tool chests and put all your hand tools. But I want to build a Dutch tool chest, which has a slanted lid. And you open it up and you have access to your hand tools. But the top of the lid will be that raised panel. So it should be nifty. I think it's going to be nice. So I'll try to show it to you in a show and tell when it's actually built. So that's it for me for now. That's my show and tell for tonight.
Great. Well, that's great, Baz. Thanks. And that's a nice spot you built there. Really, really nice. Yeah. It'll get lots of use, I'm sure.
Thanks.
Okay. Next up, we've got John Peters. If he's on with us, he's got a few things to show us.
I'm mute, and some of you know that I have done a number of little, what's his name from Poland calls them locales. And I got enthusiastic about this and did quite a number of these. When I went to Portugal last year, I discovered I left there half a dozen small pieces of wood. Why bring home a piece of wood that hasn't been carved yet? And so I turned them into a number of quite small little schnozzles, I call them, big nose. And then I got home and I got all kinds of these and I wondered, what am I going to do with them? Because when you just put one of those on a table somewhere, it doesn't look like much. And I started making one of those hobbit houses that was in one of the Carving Illustrated magazines. And I had all these pieces from the inside left over when I cut them. 1-inch planed pine. Figured I got to do something with that. So what I did was to take a number of these little schnozzles and make a group coming home out of the woods. And this is the winter scene. So they're on the path coming home. And for the snow, I painted it white, sprinkled some sawdust in it, let that dry, and painted it again. And that's the one that I sent the picture of to you, Sue. But then I thought, these guys, they're going to have to work in the summertime too. So I better have one that is a summer scene. And this is what I came up with. They're on the path again, various pebbles on the path. And this time to be more like grass, I took shavings from the thickness planer, which doesn't make such fine sawdust, but let that dry in the white paint and then just dabbed green over it. And I'm not totally happy with it, but there's the whole group of them coming home from the woods in the summertime. So I've been having a little fun trying to create something a little different, something that would show off some of these. They look so lonely when you have just one sitting on a shelf. But when you put a group together, it has a little more, I think, a little more character. And I've been having fun with that. There we are, Sue.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for that. I know the fellow you were mentioning that that does those gnomes. I can never pronounce his name. I wouldn't even try. But he, I think he's got an article in the in Wood Carving Illustrated this month. I don't have it yet, but I saw just like the sneak peek online, and yeah. So anybody that's interested in trying to carve them and create, you know, something like that, might be able to do it.
The surname is Chaladka.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't know if I can pronounce that, but yeah. Great. Okay. Well, thanks very much, John. Next up, we've got Bob Thompson. He's got a couple of items to show us tonight. We've got Bob on. I think we do. Thought I saw him earlier.
He's muted, Sue.
Okay. Can't hear you.
I don't see his name here, but
Robert Thompson, probably under.
Robert, I got a Robert.
That might
He's
be
there.
him.
He just left the room. He's
Oh,
back
did he?
again.
Oh,
Bob,
okay.
touch your microphone, Bob.
We just want to get you on here to do your show and tell stuff, Bob.
Just hit the space bar.
Is he on a laptop?
Looks like it.
No.
You can't. Is Patrick on?
Yeah, I'm there, but I mean,
Oh, you can't
I
unmute?
can't. Oh, he's done it now.
Oh, good.
Okay, we're good.
There
Good
we
to go, Bob?
Okay,
We're good to go.
got it.
Good.
Oh, now, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure can.
Okay, this was my box with the peace tower,
Oh, nice.
the front of the peace tower, and then the flag,
Wow,
and on the back is the back side of the peace tower.
very nice.
And then on the end is the clock,
Mm-hmm.
and on the other side is the trillium flowers,
Very nice.
and that's the inside.
Very nice. What's the box made out of, Bob?
Cedar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty. Very, very nice.
And
I
then
like
my
the way
other
you
one,
carried
I
the,
finished it, was the caribou.
oh gee, that's nice. And what's it carved out of?
It's basswood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's it.
Nice. Well, thank you very much,
Okay.
Bob. Okay. Let's see here. And next we've got Colin Harwood. He's got a couple of items to show us this evening. A snowman. We can hear you. To touch your space bar. Oh.
Okay, spacebar
Okay.
didn't work, but anyway.
Okay.
The first thing, I've got two things to show you. The first thing is a bunch of snowmen, some of them traditional and some of them not so traditional. You can see them there.
Oh,
You can
very
see
nice.
them there.
Nice.
Um,
What are they made of, Colin?
They are basswood. This fella I did a little while ago. It says, "You brighten up the holidays." I just burned in the little message there.
Nice.
The next guy along is a Christmas tree hanger, and I was carving out, trying to make something, a hollow thing in there, and it kind of broke. So I finished carving it and then stuck it together again. So he's all right.
Good.
This fella is just whimsical. I don't know what to call him, but he's got the pearl white, shiny white surface on him. This one I've only just finished. A kind of what do you call that multicolored? A Harlequin, yeah, that sort of thing. Just finished him. That one there, and his head is turned. And of course, we did this in the club when I was teaching. The one at the bottom, we did that little relief as well. So there's a bunch of different snowmen. The other thing that I want to show is I gave my son a chess set that was all Oriental, sort of compound stuff. And one piece was missing. I didn't know this, but somehow we lost a piece. So he brought me one and he said, carve one like that. Quite intricate. And so that's it there. Let me just tilt that a bit.
What kind of wood is that, Colin?
This is also basswood.
Oh, okay.
And I had to put in, why isn't it showing? I'll get it there. Oh, too close.
Okay, yeah.
A big bolt in the base for weight. So I did that. And this is the original.
Oh, wow.
There.
That's a good likeness of it.
Pretty good likeness. It's not really, it's not as shiny as the other one. I think I'll have to put another coat of varnish on it. But it's good enough for his chess set anyway.
Oh, it looks
So
good.
that was quite intricate to carve. All his face and moustaches and everything else. So there it is.
Great. That's very interesting. Yeah, he'll be happy with that, I'm sure.
Yep, there it is.
Okay. All right. And so let's see what we've got up next here. Do we have Franz on the line with us tonight? Is he's on or no?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Hi. You had a
Hello.
couple of pieces to show to us this evening?
Yes, this is, it's just a couple of, well, I did them as Christmas tree ornaments. I found a tutorial on YouTube and I tried it out and it turned out quite well. I made one for each of the kids and I made an 8-point star and it's made from a cube, 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. And this is the 8-point star that I did.
Okay. Neat.
And it's butternut.
Yeah.
And I wish I used a softer wood because there's lots of end grain.
I bet. I bet.
These aren't finished. This is the 12-point star that I did.
Wow.
It was a challenge. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's neat.
And
Very cool.
That is all I have today.
Oh, well, thank you very much. That's great. Okay. And next up, we've got Brian Graham. He's got a biography piece to show us this evening.
Hi, guys. That was, hi. That was really beautiful work everybody's done. I'm really pleased with all of that. Everybody's getting things done.
They are.
Yeah, I've been watching my bird feeders with all this time on our hands. So I've decided to do a few pyros of birds feeders. And here's the one I was doing here. Let's see.
There we
Do you see
go.
that all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice.
And I just wanted to say that I find the snow very hard to do. If you use colored oil pencils, I find they just sort of just don't look like snow at all. So I've been using titanium, Joe Sanyo's titanium white acrylic paint. And I find that to be excellent for the job. And you can make it sort of mound up the snow a bit, and it works really well.
Nice. Is that basswood that you burn that onto?
Yeah, I've done it on basswood. That was Bill Wilton gave me, sold me that half round, which I really like the way it works out. And I did another one with a little saying on it: peace is always beautiful. So I did another one there like that.
Very nice. Very nice.
And so I've enjoyed watching. We've had a lot of red poles. I wonder if other people with bird feeders have been seeing all these red poles around. Got about 40 of them there today, so it's unbelievable.
Wow.
So that's all I got. What I do is I finish my my pyros with matte finish Krylon.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that I was using gloss before, but I've gone back to the matte now, which makes a nicer finish, I think. And it's a low odor, so you don't get that when you're doing it in your basement. It doesn't give you much odor. Well, that's all I got. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you very much. Very nice. And we've got Jose Gomero up next. He's got some small characters to show us this evening. If we got Jose on the line with us, I think I saw him earlier.
Okay.
There we go.
You know, this book, this is the Jack Price original carving book.
Mm-hmm.
It was written in 1992, and it was printed in black and white. The book has a lot of pictures in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So, more pictures, but
Mm-hmm.
Jack Price negotiated with Fox Chapel a new version of the book, and he got a contract. But when he started to carve, he discovered that he was too old to carve, so he couldn't finish the book. And for some reason, Fox Chapel contacted me and asked if I could carve instead of Jack Price. Of course, I say yes.
Yeah.
I accepted, and they gave me a contract. I start carving. The book has about 80 pictures, and every picture is different. It corresponds to one stage of the carving of a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to carve and taking pictures at the same time, and after sometimes I discover some mistakes in my carving, so I have to come back and start again and destroy the pictures and start again. And after the third or fourth time, I was going carving and coming back and starting again. I decided to carve a small piece for every step, so I could first carve the whole sequence of characters and then take the pictures. So now I'm going to show you what I carved to do the book. By the way, the book is this. Now it's a new book. It's in color.
Mm-hmm.
And 100% of those carves were carved by me. I did all the carvings.
Oh, okay.
All kind of characters, and
Mm-hmm.
took me a lot of time, but they did quite a good job of taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Oh,
But I want to show you what is interesting is the characters that I carved to first and then to take the pictures, okay?
Okay.
I put those on top of my printer, and I hope you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Here,
Yeah. It's quite a, yeah, it's quite an undertaking.
every card is one step ahead on the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
And all had to be the same because they took the pictures after that. So it's about, here I have 50 cards, all one by one, and a lot of job work.
I guess. Yeah.
The purpose of the book was to carve two main characters. The farmer, which is here the farmer. I don't know if you can see the farmer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the second one is a 45 degrees turning head character.
Yeah.
So this character has the head 45 degrees turn respect to the normal.
So all the pieces that you have shown there, they're the progress pieces leading up to those two?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot of,
around 6 months of work.
Yeah.
To do. But I helped Doug Price, who was a very important person. Unfortunately, he's too old now, he cannot carve, but he has a book. And they mentioned me in the book here. I don't know if you can see, but.
Yeah.
And they were very kind because they said that without my participation, the book could have never been able to appear. So this was a good experience. And that's it. That's what I wanted to show you.
Great. Well, that's a very interesting story. Interesting to see how many pieces go into those progress pieces that we look at in magazines and just kind of don't really think about the work behind it. So
a lot of work. I can tell you, 6 months, every day, at least 5 to 6 hours.
Wow.
Doing step by step. And then when I finished, I took the picture. I also constructed my own light box. And there's one interesting issue about the light box. Maybe you also take pictures, so you know very well. When you put a background, which is white, and you take a picture, the background appears gray. It appears gray because the camera makes an average of the whole frame and then adjusts the colors to have an average of the whole frame. So most of the light boxes are white. But you end up with the background very gray. So what I did is I built my light box in black. Inside the black, I put a small strip of white paper and the rest was black. So when the camera computed the average of the frame, part of the frame was black. So by doing that, I fooled the camera because when they average, they didn't put too much gray. So the background was very reasonable white.
Interesting.
And I use a cell phone to take the pictures. The whole pictures of the book were taken with this cell phone.
Amazing, eh?
In order to have steady pictures, you have to enable the voice command. I use the word whiskey. So every time I say whiskey, it takes one picture.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't touch the camera. That way you get very steady pictures.
Yeah.
So that's the story behind this nice book of fellows.
Great. Well, thanks very much. That was interesting, Jose. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Eric Haber, he's got, if we'll recall, last time he showed us his great horned owl, and I think tonight he's going to show us some progress on that piece. So if Eric's with us, we'll move on to that now.
Yep.
Hi, Eric.
You see me all right?
I can.
The owl is up here on this basswood log. The owl came out of an equivalent log like this, about 9 inches across and 16 inches high. I've got the second one because I want to make another one. This first owl is for a friend. It's for Nicole. I used photos off the internet to try to determine, the pattern of feathers and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And as it turned out, once I got some really good magazines and some books on the owls, the feather pattern could have been better and different, especially on the back. I think I made the feathers a little too small, but at any rate, I'm pretty happy with it the way it is. I still have to, I think, do something with it, with the coloring, because although the owl is very widespread in North America and there are different color phases, but the light color that's coming through here is actually still the basswood.
Mm-hmm.
The log that this was made from was from a basswood tree that was cut down in the neighborhood here in Stittsville last spring. So I was actually working with green lumber. But what's interesting with the basswood, there's very little splitting and cracking, just a little bit, and I could feel that quite readily. In fact, this other piece back here, it's the same here, and there's just a couple of little cracks at the very top here, none of the side. Some of the white pine I've worked with for making some bears, they just crack open and you've got 1/2 inch wide cracks. Anyway, the great horned owl this is about 2/3 the natural size. The females are bigger than the males.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping to work on another one that has a little bit more three-dimensionality to it, so that the wings kind of stand out a little bit more and get a bit more of a three-dimensional aspect to it. I had to fiddle around with the eyes. I carved the holes a little too close together to the beak to start with. I had to fudge around with it a bit, but what with filling in with a putty and moving it out and then painting at least the facial disc like that, it got to be reasonably normal looking.
Great. Well, he turned out nicely.
I'm
Excellent.
fairly pleased with that, but I want to do something that the feather patterns in that will be a little bit better than what I was able to achieve with this one. Now that's about just over 50 hours of work for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken that long, and I still should do something else with the color. What I've got here is Windy the Cowboy, or my version of it, from the 2019 spring edition of Wood Carving Illustrated. I was kind of taken by seeing that in the magazine. I thought, geez, I'd like to try that. So this it turned out fairly well, I thought.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Just to have something to go with it, just the other day, I carved a little bow from Mike Shipley's Carving Country Folk.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my version of a little hound dog. I thought afterwards, well, my goodness, it's a hound dog. It really should have a thin, long tail, not a thick, bushy tail. But it's a caricature, so what? So these are fairly recent ones that I've just done. I told you, Sue, that I was going to be working on the little rabbit, but that didn't turn out very well, so I'm not showing that.
Okay.
But, one of my two grandsons, a younger guy, he's got a birthday this month. His older brother had a birthday last September, and he got one of my hiking staffs with a different kind of a head on it. My son's birthday was in June, and he got a dragon, or sort of a dragon head on his. And that was actually because when you take these dried eastern white cedar out of the ground, you can get some nice root structure down here. And sometimes they're conducive to carving something like a little monster, or in my case, sort of a dragon figure. This one here is, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's another crazy looking head on it, but I think he'll quite like this one. So these are Eastern white cedar. I burned their names into it and the date that it was made. So that's about it for me. Thank you.
Great. Well, thanks, Eric. Thank you very much. We've got Charlie Brimley up next. He's got a couple of items that he wants to show us. We've got Charlie here.
Unmute. Okay, am I
don't know if
unmuted?
you.
There we go.
There we go. Hi.
Okay, I got 2 pieces that are finished, and I got one that I'm currently working on. But the first one is called Predator versus Prey, and it's a smallmouth bass, and you can see he's going after a crayfish.
Very nice.
And I think my biggest challenge on this one was just trying to get the coloring right, because I am a bit of a fisherman, and so I'm a bit of a purist when it comes to trying to get the color right. So, but probably as hard or harder than the fish was carving that crayfish out of basswood. So
I bet.
It's all out of basswood. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Very,
so
very
that's the first one.
Nice.
The second one is a full-size bird that visits my backyard, and it's called a yellow-shafted northern flicker. And he is full-size, and he was a big challenge to try and get the coloring right, because he has so many different colors and textures and spots, different sizes and shapes. The actual house that he's sitting on here is actually a real woodpecker's house. Was my sister-in-law, we were at their cottage a few months back, and they were cutting down some cedars. And I saw this hole, and I said, save me that piece.
Yeah.
So they saved me the piece. So he has a real woodpecker's house, and he is a member of the woodpecker family. So
great. That's a great piece to mount it on. Good habitat for that one, for sure.
Yeah. And just the one I'm working on right now is actually in payment for some basswood that I was given. And it's a loon. It's just partly done. I'm just starting the burning process, and but he's coming along. But he will be head not quite attached yet. But anyway, he's going to be in payment for a great amount of beautiful basswood that I was able to get donated by a gentleman out in Carp. So
excellent.
Anyway,
sure he'll like that.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay, thank you very much, Charlie. That's nice. Nice stuff. Well, I know Bee's on the line because I saw her a minute ago, so I'll let Bee show her pieces. If she's with us there still.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a bit experimental.
Yeah.
I think this is going to work. Okay, so everybody showed things that they made, and they were absolutely awesome. What I'm going to show you is something that is, if I can make this camera work, something that was too big to bring in, but I had all along. I got this in northern Thailand in a place called Chiang Mai. And it's made from teak, and it's a picture of the elephants pulling the logs out of the teak forest. So all of those trees are teak trees, And there's quite a lot of nice detail. But even the little holes where they put the chains to tow the logs out of the forest.
Nice.
So yeah, it was quite interesting to ship it back from there.
I was going to say, because it looks pretty big.
Yeah, it is. It's about 3 feet across. No, maybe more. No, about 4 feet across and 2 feet, 3 feet high. Also from the same area and trip, I haven't actually figured out. Okay. So are the temple guards, which let's see. Let me see. Yeah. So these are the typical guards that they have outside the temples, and they're quite intricately carved, also teak. And then this is another thing this is sandalwood and very nice smell. Let's see if I can get it in focus. Obviously, I haven't used this before. Never mind. It's a pendant with little balls inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
We can see them a bit now.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be like aromatic.
Oh, I see.
And the other thing that I have here, this came from Banff, and I'm not sure what the wood is, but it's a beaver. It's a lamp. It's a beaver chewing on stuff. So those are just some things that I've had for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, they're interesting.
Yeah, the Thai stuff, it was absolutely amazing. The work that they did with those huge teak lumber, logs.
Yeah.
It was neat
very
to watch
nice.
them pulling them out. Yeah.
I guess.
That's it.
Very nice. Well, thank you very much.
I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
But I thought that was something that I couldn't bring in. So maybe I
Yeah, I can understand why. Yeah. For sure. Well, thanks for sharing those with us. Thank you. Okay, and so I'll bring up the back end here. I've just got a couple of things to show of my own here that I'll show to you, and that will conclude our show and tell for tonight. So I just got a couple of little things here. Usually when I'm sharpening tools, like everybody, I keep a piece of wood beside the sharpener to test knives and that kind of thing. And for some reason, I decided instead of just testing with random cuts, I'd just make something. So I did, and it's just a silly little thing, but it's amazing. People actually seem to like it. It's just this little Santa Claus here. It's just a little basswood Santa Claus. He's about 7 or 8 inches high. So anyway, just a fun thing. The other was a hound dog, actually. I know Eric showed one as well. This is a guy that I finished, I think, back in mid-December. And this is him here. He's basswood. I don't know if you can get a good look at him there, but there he is. And he's just kind of dry brushed in spots to make him look a little darker. And then he's got just a beeswax finish over top of him. So that's him. He's about, maybe about 6 inches high. And so that's that guy. And the only other thing I've got is, I'm sure some of you have seen these before, some of these little hoodie guys. I think I showed them last month. Here's just a couple of different ones that I've done. And following a recent presentation on the International Woodcarvers by John Overby, some of you might know him. He's a pretty good flat plane carver. I decided I would try to do a hoodie guy in the flat plane. It's not as easy as it looks, but anyway, that's him there from the side. You can see the difference of the rounding and the flat plane look, and then he's got a bit more of a face on him. But these are just fun things to fool around with. So that's it for me. And that finishes show and tell.
No,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Did we miss you, Conrad? I'm sorry.
Yes.
My apologies.
Yeah, I had, I don't know if you missed my connection, but anyway, I've got a revisit from last presentation. Not sure if everybody saw it. I've got a cottonwood bark lighthouse that I got a large box of cottonwood bark from British Columbia. This one, I incorporated some other material, like the posts around the ledge here are basswood. Your veneer from some pine shavings, a little plastic red light on the top, a plastic shield around a light on the inside.
Oh, neat.
The ropes are braided material from my wife's sewing kit, some cottonwood or anyway, quilting material. Put in a little life preserver here with a rope made out of that same material.
Right.
But anyway, and a little bench on the inside of this part. So
Lots of detail.
this month I made this one. It's a another piece of the same lumber supply. This one incorporated a tree growing up with the live edge on the bark on the side and on here as well. This portion is a piece of the live edge that grew out of the tree bark.
Right.
Anyway, another little barkwood carving, and I incorporated again some new material, a little piece of basswood for the doorknob and a keyhole, and same up on the top here on this one.
Okay.
Doorknob on this door.
Cute.
With an open door here, staircases, and assorted shingles type of thing. One thing that I had a lot of fun doing was this wall has wood, and the wood is broken off and it's exposed brickwork underneath.
Nice. Oh yeah, when you turn it, yeah, you can see the brickwork there. Very lots of imagination on those. Very nice.
And anyway, I've still got 13 more chunks of wood to go out of the shoebox, out of the shipment.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing some more.
Yep.
Conrad, what tools do you use to do that?
Most of it is with just a single knife. I've got a favorite knife that a neighbor of mine gave me. His father-in-law or something was a carver and he died. And the guy ended up with a shoebox full of knives and chisels and says, Connie, here, you do some carving. Here, take this. So there's this one Japanese knife. It's in my basement now in the workshop. But my gosh, it's the sharpest thing. It's got a nice grip. It's just a straight triangle-shaped knife blade. And I love it. But the other stuff is the standard fishtail and gouges and V-tool. But my favorite tool is that knife. I'll bring it up the next time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And sorry about that. Sorry I missed you there. Hope I didn't miss anybody else. So,
right then. All good.
Thank you very much.
Good. John Bowser has there, Sue. John Bowser has something.
Oh, okay.
But you just can't hear you, John. Turn your microphone on.
A.
Oh, there we go.
You're up.
I have to press Alt A.
Oh.
They're all different. I recently watched a little Australian cartoon on YouTube, and it was just a little thing on a road rage incident. And one of the guys in the car was a peculiar looking old man. I thought it was so neat that that I've carved one. I'm not just sure how well this is going to show up, but I've got a little, where are we here?
More towards your face.
Get him out where the light can hit him. and see his nose. It's great. Ain't a big lovely. Anyways, I really liked it, and it's butternut, and I had to slice the piece off. I used the piece I cut off to make the hat because, as you see, the brim is very, very thin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually, the grain is this way. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said it was butternut, John?
It's butternut. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
Nice.
I put this.
I saw that. It
on
was
the
funny as
YouTube-
hell.
One of the YouTube channels that I watch. I put this one on today. I'm not a fan of going back and recarving something that I did years before, but I had carved this Scotsman out of, he's also butternut, and I carved it in the fall, and I haven't liked it. So the other day I took it down to my bench and I did recarve it. He's looking, as you can see, he's looking to his right, and it just wasn't working, but it's better now. He looks like his head is turned, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
It looks pretty good to me. Huh?
Well, what do you do with it? I don't know what to do with it.
What do we do with a lot of these things, right?
Well, yeah, I'm probably up in the thousands now of carvings.
Wow.
What do you do with them? I may quit. Seriously. Yeah, that sounds depressing. But anyway, that's it for me. I do look at this little gadget here. This is a little light that is for Zoom calls and things like this. And I noticed with some of the people, Bob's a good example, where you can see behind him, but his face, he's almost just a silhouette because he has no light, and several are like that. And you can get these little lights on Amazon, very cheap, for like $30. You can get one that clips on the top of your laptop or whatever. This one has 2 or 3 different attachments. Anyway, something you might want to think about. And nice to see everybody, and that's all I have.
Thank you. I think that's it for the show and tell. Thanks everybody that presented stuff. We had a nice, I was going to say a nice table tonight. We'll call it, we had a nice screening tonight. A lot of nice, interesting pieces, and looking forward to more next month. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sue.
Okay, thanks, Sue, and thanks everybody for putting their things in. Has anybody got any last questions, points for before we call it an evening, or put your hand up if you got something to say?
Oh,
Bob's got, undo your, put your speaker.
I'm doing a piece now, and it's just found wood,
nice.
but I don't know if I was going to enter it in, what would I enter it in anything? What classification would you call that?
Found wood.
Yep.
Found wood?
Found wood, I think, yeah. That's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You might have a couple of choices, Bob. Things like this, I mean, sometimes it's stylized or miscellaneous or found wood. Sometimes it's a judgment call. People often will, if they have an option of 2 or 3 categories, you might pick one where you might only have 2 or 3 pieces in competition, where if you picked a different category, you might be in competition with 10 pieces. Just something to think about.
How would you know before you enter it though? You wouldn't know.
Yeah, when you register the piece, you tell them what you want. If they don't agree that that's the category it should go in, they might try and talk you into a different one. But when you read the the competition form, and it gives all the categories and classes, you'll find a little wiggle room in there almost always.
Okay.
I mean, if it's a realistic bird, it's a realistic bird. But for something like that, it's a little bit more flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else with any points, any questions? Oh, Pam's got something. Okay, Pam.
I just forgot to mention the next Wood Wizard for March is going to be obviously something St. Patty's Day related. And if you could have them in by February the 25th, that would be grand. We'll send out an email reminder.
Excellent. Good. Okay.
Any more? Catherine, turn your mic on. There you are.
The button on the bottom left on my screen. I have a dilemma. I've done a carving of a fish. I still have the fins to do, but I'm wondering if I should paint it. So I'm just going to reach over and get it. John might recognize this.
John recognizes it.
Remember I was working on this in the fall?
Yes.
Or no, spring?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Fall.
do I paint it? And what paints do I use? It's a brown trout.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just really nervous that I'll ruin it.
You can't make the decision for you.
So what kind of paints do I use?
Well, painting a fish like that is often more work than the carving. So, I mean, you can put a light stain on it and have it like a natural finish. You see lots of them like that.
Okay.
But if you're going to paint it, then, you know, you're almost obliged to do a little bit of scale work on it, whether it's paint or, you know, incised lines, or as you start to get closer to a realistic fish. Are you willing to put another 30 hours in it?
No. So stain it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
I've got a piece of driftwood that I'm going to mount it on. It's going to just be on 2 spikes.
Nice.
Very nice.
Okay.
Okay, any more? Or any more? Okay, then we'll call it an evening. Thank you all for your participation in the various parts and Wood Wizard and show and tell and all the discussion. And look forward to seeing you all, or most of you, at our clutch on the 19th of February. I'll come up with some short presentation again, and then we can have another discussion period about the topic that I chose or not, whether you like it or not. With nobody coming forward with projects, what is what I put.
I'll make an effort. Andy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, if you want to do a project, John, we'll take you on.
Okay, I'll see what I can come up with in the next couple of days.
And you don't have to put up with something from Doug Linger again.
Something from Easter?
But yeah, we just want something to have people carve along and talk about afterwards if they don't. And people got to remember, what you've got to remember is we will tape it and put it up on YouTube after, so you don't actually have to carve John, because I know John can carve a little faster than most of us, but you can always, when you put it up on, you see it on YouTube, you can always press the pause button. But when John's doing the demonstration, you can't put them on pause, you got to go with the flow. But yeah, John, if you want to take on one, I thank you very much. It saves me scratching my hair a little bit more, but we can certainly, we need more active participants. Otherwise, we'll just have to take a presentation off of YouTube and go with that. But yeah, if you want to take it for the 19th, or if you want to put it off till the middle of March, if you want.
Yeah, give me a couple of days to see if I
just
have
send
a
me
good idea.
just send me an email, and you know, anybody else that wants to step up and do a little project. It doesn't have to be an hour. It can be, you know, 40 minutes or so, and that's all. And we'll run it, and we can have a discussion afterwards with people, and explain the different parts that people get hung up on. All I want to do here is just keep the carving thing flowing, keep people talking. We can all see each other here on the screen, which we haven't seen some people for quite some time, and we probably won't for another quite a few months. But anyway, as I said, thank you all for your participation, and we'll see you on the 19th then.
And
Thanks
thank
all.
you folks for organizing this.
Yes, thank
Very
you all.
much.
Yeah, thanks very much. Good to see everybody.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Bye now.
Bye, thanks.
Okay. There, that's right.
I'm gonna shut her down now.
Okay, you're gonna shut her down, Patrick?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Thanks now. Thanks for all your help, Patrick.
Take care.